Get that inspiring facial flush with Novus Niacin. Welcome to the New Spirit Radio Show by the Society of Novus Spiritus, founded by world-renowned spiritual teacher Sylvia Browne. Today's date should be March 6th of 2024. Oh my, no, guess what I forgot? It's March 13th. Not March 6th. We're March 13th. Thank you. Coming to you live from California, both NorCal and SoCal, are your hosts, Reverend Tom Bigley and Reverend Catherine Taylor, playing audio segments we call Messages from Spirit. Why? Answering the ultimate question, why are we here and what is our purpose?
These segments are recorded trance sessions from Francine, Sylvia's spirit guide. So for new people, Sylvia was a full trance medium, which means Sylvia contracted to let her and Francine's essences exchange places in Sylvia's body. And we think of our bodies being similar to a car. One driver gets out and another driver gets in. This allowed Francine to share spiritual knowledge with us directly from the other side.
On occasion, another master teacher and healer, a guide named Rahim, would exchange with Sylvia and present us with spiritual information as well. Francine and Rahim shared directly from sources like the Akashic Records, Mother and Father God, our spirit guides, Christ, and many others.
And meanwhile, during trance, Sylvia would sit on a nice bench in a rose garden on the other side.
And here are our hosts, Reverend Catherine Taylor and Reverend Tom Bigley.
Hello, how is it going?
It's going. We got here
Wednesday.
maybe a minute late, but hey, we got here and welcome everyone. Glad you all made it. Doesn't matter when you're watching, but I'm glad you all made it here. For those of you that are new, want to go over what our agenda is and why we like to spend so much time here and what you can learn about. So first, we like to start out with some short announcements. Then we get into how did you use Novus Spiritus philosophy. For those of you that are familiar with that, now's a fun time to start posting in the chat. How did you use Novus? Because it's always fun to share and everybody gets to learn that way. It's not just that we're nosy, it's everybody gets to learn from it. Then we get into the special prayers and a moment of silence. We will have 2 trance segments this evening, followed by a meditation. Then we do closing notes. We have a novena, which is a special prayer ceremony that everybody's welcome to participate in. I'll talk about that more later. We move into appreciation, and then we have a prayer by Sylvia. We conclude with a prayer by Sylvia.
Fantastic.
Now, we like to do our ASMR for the evening. Hey, there we go. Light a candle. We encourage if you'd like to light a candle where you are. That's great too, if it's appropriate for your venue. Let's see. Oh, we got that. We did that. Announcements. Quick announcements. Do you have anything besides what I'm going to bring up?
Go for it.
Okay. I was just checking. Please do share, promote, like, subscribe. Yes. And click on the bell depending on where you're watching. It's great because that gets the word out to other people, makes suggestions. Also, please do donate when you can. Helps keep things like this moving and giving you access to this. You can donate with a credit card and Venmo by going to our website. And especially welcome to all the new subscribers and followers and new people that just discovered us or were helped discovering us. And next, please do miss out. No, don't miss out. Make sure you get notifications to Chris Questions specials. You can sign up on his website at chrisrightnow.com to make sure you get your notices. I was just being told somewhere, don't say not, because the brain doesn't know what not is. It knows what you say to do. So go to Chris's website and check in at chrisrightnow.com. Let's see. We did that. We talked about that. I wore my voter sticker last week, so that's not an issue. That's notes for this week. Anybody else? Any announcements? Okay, none? Yes? No? All right.
I can't think of any announcements, but
All right. Well, the next thing we like to jump on and share is how did you use Novus Spiritus philosophy last week? So I like to put Kat on the hot seat and say either you choose, you say, or let's choose something from chat.
I guess I'd volunteer to go first.
All right.
Also, as and for anyone who is listening and joining in, what you used and what you might have encountered over the last week that you'd feel comfortable sharing, and I'll read your comments. I love reading what everybody encounters. It helps
Yeah.
with that feel of community, and even if we're spread all across the world. So for myself, I got really excited. I went and saw the second Dune movie, so Dune 2, and I got really excited because I saw so many Gnostic themes coming out of it.
Okay.
But, like you have to be kind of smart, like thinking about it. But how we always talk about the need to have emotion and intellect working together, masculine and feminine side working together. I saw a lot of that theme coming out. I also saw a lot of the. I kept hearing Raheem's message when he tells people, keep your own counsel, like, because here's this individual who's going, kind of going on his own hero's journey, and he has so many people telling him what to do, and prophecies, and is it prophecy, is it not? Should I follow what my mom says? Should I follow what my dad says? Should I follow what this person's like? So many of these warring messages.
And oh, by the way, I got a girlfriend too.
And I got a girlfriend. Like, yeah, there's so many. Like, oh my goodness, and the warriors that are around me. There's so many people telling him. Just different expectations, and we really, really see this incredible story that I was just like, oh, that's Raheem's message right there. That is it. That is
fun
it right there about this journey of what's possible when you keep your own counsel and you trust yourself to find the way that feels right for you. And I thought it was an incredible fun. Dune 2. I recommend it for a good time, and I hope that you enjoy it. So
if we haven't seen Dune 1, then we would get lost with Dune 2.
I think you should probably see Dune 1.
That's what I thought.
I think you should probably see Dune 1 because it's just a marvelous setup for it's a marvelous setup, and it's aesthetically really beautiful. I think that the direction, the cinematography, the acting, like they just, check every box. It just feels like a really, really nice time. So
yeah. Fun. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. It's a nice little fun.
Inspiring that I should watch number 1 because somebody's been wants to invite us to go see 2 pretty soon.
Fantastic. Enjoy. I think with this adaptation, it is so artistically beautiful. I think it's one of those rare movies where I would say, yes, see it in theaters. Like it is just worth this beautiful, beautiful scenery and this sense of like huge grandiosity, and somehow they're able to really brought out the emotion of like what goes on the inside of this hero that we're following, and it's just really they do a really nice job in my opinion. So I see a comment from Michael in chat saying Dune is one of the greatest stories I've ever read. I plan to see it next weekend with my now 16-year-old son. Oh, have fun.
Nice. Fun. What was it? I'll make sure I watch 1 because 1 is streaming now. I'll make sure I turn the lights out and I sit real close to the TV.
There we go.
To get that cinematic experience. Fun.
Cool.
Okay, what's next?
Next, I'm just glancing in chat. Jorge says, thankful to God this week for everything that I have. Thankful for my job, apartment, and this loving community. Thankful for you too, and your sharp memory. Oh, you're so sharp. It's great having you here. Tom, what did you use of Nova's philosophy over this last week?
I didn't think you were going to ask.
Wow.
So last week I had brought up about I don't remember the extent of the discussion, but I brought up a point about why when we see suicides and the people around them might say, well, I never saw that. I never it never occurred to me. And after the show, I stopped to think about, well, why is that? Why do they not show it? Why is it not shown? In because it's usually hidden in some form. And I thought, why is that? And what came to mind was, the depression or anxiety is hidden. It's because it could be an insecurity. So the person with the insecurity could be hiding that fact, trying to live life without being so. If you've ever seen somebody not hiding the fact of being anxious or depressed, it's kind of noticeable. But when people hide it and, relate to it in sort of like a functioning alcoholic, that person could be an alcoholic and they're functioning, they're not knowing it. It's like functioning depressed or anxious people, is kind of the analogy I was thinking of. So I thought of like, don't blame yourself if you didn't see it in a friend, because that's their experience. That's what how they're dealing with it in life is to, keep it hidden. So
Yeah, it's you never just never know what people are going through, and I think it's just really a reminder for me to be extra mindful, to be kind. You just never know
yeah,
how, like, what kind of burden someone is carrying in their backpack. If anyone relates to this feeling of, I gotta put on a face to keep that keep the burdens from the burden from sharing, just know that you're not alone. We've all been there, and just sending you tons of love, and just keep
yeah,
working on yourself. Take care of yourself. You are worth it.
yes. I mean, it's common to, when you're anxious, to get like overwhelmed, easily overwhelmed, that you're emotionally worn out, and which then that could lead to depression, because you've worn yourself out and your emotional battery is like empty. So
Hmm.
do the best you can, and that's what we're here to share, things and tools and what you can do to help keep yourself energized, keep yourself uplifted.
Absolutely. Um, got a comment in chat. A couple comments in chat. Tangela shares, "Hi everyone. So my dad died on February 29th, and the day before I had dreamt of a penny with a shield on the back."
Hmm.
First of all, our love to you and condolences. Um, she continues saying, "I went to stay the day with him and needed gas. I found that penny in from the gas pump I was filling up with. The whole day was filled up with 2s and 12s and 11s, and everything on the 29
Nice.
add up to those numbers, his name and his birth. So since then, he's been fixing things around my house and helping workmen with problems. Had the water tank go, pipes routed throughout the house, and I'm making him work for me on the other side." And it's really, really sweet. It's really,
Fun.
really sweet.
I'm curious.
You take care of you. Yeah.
Is there a is the shield on the back of the penny significant to you? I'd be curious to learn if it's just a penny that's significant, or if there's something about the shield that has meaning to you. It'd be fun to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. If anything, it sounds like he's protecting you and protecting your house. showing
Yeah,
up
that's
like a
what I was
shield.
thinking of. Like,
Yeah.
have that shield is, yeah.
Mhm. Um, so many prayers for you. And Ramona shares, this past week I've been sending my aura as far out as possible to keep negative nouns away. That's funny.
That's cute.
That's really funny. Love it. Um, and Tandra shares, he was a Mason and military, so shield.
Okay, all right. That's that's a fun significance.
It is. It is. I'll just keep sending gentleness and love and light your way. Erin shares a quote: "Put out the white light, even if they don't see it. It's awesome and need more light in this world." Amen to that, sister. Amen to
That's
that.
our uh what do you call it? Scrolling text on the bottom. So yeah, for sure.
Mhm. Um, Also, we got an email, like an email question. I thought it would be great to talk about. What is the definition of a mystical traveler?
Oh, sorry. Is that too short?
Um, it is okay. So, mystical traveler. It's a great. It's a great read. Like even now I keep coming back to it. Just because because honestly, there's kind of a lot that goes into it. Sylvia, um, the first definition that I read from Sylvia that stuck with me was, if a mission life entity, so someone who says like, oh, for this one lifetime, I volunteer to do a thing. So that's one off. It's one lifetime. I volunteer to do something. Send me on a mission, God, and let's see what good we can do. So that's like a short term, one lifetime situation. But a mystical traveler is, if a mission life entity is saying, anywhere in the world you want me to go, God, I volunteer.
The
Whereas,
universe.
yeah, whereas that's right. Mystical traveler says, anywhere in the universe, God, you wish me to go, I volunteer, and it's a permanent contract that you volunteer to do with and for God. And there's that's kind of the simplest
That's
explanation.
yeah, that's a um good explanation. And then hold the book up and say the book will really embellish on our ideas, what we've shared, besides the fact that I'm like, but that's humor.
Hmm.
I like your step and idea.
Yeah, I can say from my own experience with the mystical traveler vow, um, it just feels like that extra. It felt like a natural moment of saying, I just want to reach for more spirituality and be of
Hmm.
more service. And I was having a hard time thinking about, like, what would more spirituality look like for me if I don't be of more service. And so that, yes, yeah. What are your thoughts, Tom?
I had I'm raising my hand so I don't interrupt you. Um, Another thought comes to my mind. What do we do? We come here to experience for ourselves, and to me, that's kind of the still falls under the I me. And as a mystical traveler, you're saying, okay, no more I me. I want to, it's asking God, what do you want from me? What would you like me to do? How do you want help? So it's now I'm helping God, even though it's still coming through me. Um, it's still a question to God. What do you want me to do for you?
Yeah, and people can be mystical travelers in the science. They can have like a burning desire to be scientists, and that is the right choice. They can a mystical traveler can be a child who just comes for a couple years and helps transform and enlighten a family. A mystical traveler can be a writer, they can be an actor, they can be a director, they can be someone not famous at all, they can be a mother who raises the spirituality of the family. There is no task that is too um, that is like oh, this is the career, like they all have to be ministers. No, um, like a mystical traveler will do it's just you just feel like this additional, I guess,
Yes.
empowerment to follow your heart.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just
Yeah.
that's yeah. So I didn't feel like all of my hopes and dreams got overwritten. I feel like that's a big fear when people say like, okay, I'm telling God wherever you want me to be, I'll like do it. Like that God has a totally different plan for you. No, I have never at any point been like, oh, I'm in this situation that just feels completely incongruent with who I am. Um, you're just a troubleshooter. I'm just living my life. I troubleshoot things. I be like just work on being kind to people. Um, I try to think on my own lessons and how I could use what I've gone through in order to help somebody else. And like it's as simple as it needs to be. Sometimes it's okay. Um,
So you're not gonna become a hermit and a guru and go live up
No,
on the hill?
no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. That is not for me. That is not for me. No, thank you.
Right.
But at some point, I might want to be a teacher, and that's something that I've always known. Uh, like to go like teach at a university, but that feels like way down the line. Still, I knew that I wanted to be a therapist, a minister for Novus, and a professor. I wanted to do those three things when I was young. It's always been the case, and I was like, I'll know it when I get there. So it's fine.
Fun.
That's what I know about myself. That's good. It didn't get erased. God's not going to be like, all right, I'm sending you to Antarctica, and you're going to hate it now. No.
Any other, what other comments people have or questions?
Yeah. I see Reverend Danny, Reverend Cass, and Reverend Donnell are here. Hello, and they're having a conversation about. Donnell sounds like she heard, like, woke up hearing some words, and they're chatting about that. Um, uh, Cass says, haven't seen Dune yet, but we'll do so soon. Fantastic. Donnell shares, and with Dune, I can see parallels between the main character and Jesus. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I've seen some of that too. And Yvonne shares, good evening, Reverends. I made it again after a really hard week. So glad to be back. I hope that things level out soon. Just as soon as possible. I'm sending you positivity and blessings your way. All right, and that's what I got. That's what I got.
Nice. All right.
Well, should we do special prayers?
Sure. Special prayers, what we do
Extra
encourage.
love for the Middle East.
Yeah, for sure. There's,
Uh,
well, there, yes, that's one. There's things going on in South America, things going on in Mexico, things going on, I'm sure, in the Far East. Uh,
Ukraine,
yeah,
Sudan,
yeah. So, well, we're just
mercy.
whatever comes to your mind and visualize what a good outcome is, an appropriate outcome is for that, whatever that issue is. Visualize that, but also ask for the greater good. And we're going to ask the Mother God, the archetypes, archangels, and spirit guides, everybody else that could be of help from the other side to get out there and help in whatever form is possible. It's the what we're here. We have to. Yes, they're on the other side praying and trying to get involved to help us, but we also have to be here asking for the help. So let's take a moment of silence, and we're going to visualize what those things are that we'd like to see help with, and as a special prayer. Amen.
Amen.
And of course, these special prayers that are put in the comments. Yes, those are public. If you'd like to do something private, you can go to the website and look for the prayer chain button and submit special prayers there. No one reads those. And I do like to suggest, be the prayer. If you see a need, you can fill it. If you are streaming challenged and you'd like to listen in while we are live by phone, we have a conference call phone number you can call in on and jump in while we are live. And that number is 888-534-2696. And I do appreciate that you stay muted so that everybody else there has a wonderful episode, listens to the wonderful episode. Now we have trance segments. Yes, we have two because this is the end of a trance session, and so next week we'll be moving into a new trance. What are we listening to?
We are listening to Francine talking about. So she's continuing from last week. So she's going to talk about spines and the discs in our spines, and how, because she left off talking about how she didn't like spinal surgery at all. So she's going to talk about, so someone's asked, like, well, what should you do if you have like a disc issue? Then she's going to talk about amputations are not going to grow back, and we should be a little skeptical if anyone is saying you can regrow a limb. All right. Traditional Eastern medicine diagnoses through, happening through measuring energy. Francine is very against radiation and is now less against chemo. And again, the context for this is the treatments available at the time, which was 1997, right? So things have since, had years to evolve. She's going to talk about endometriosis surgery, time-release vitamin C for allergies and mold allergies, and both niacin and niacinimide for supporting heart disease.
Maybe I should take more. That means we're not lizard people. That's how you know if we're not lizard people. Is if
I'm dead. That killed me. That joke killed me. That's so funny. Wild conspiracy theories.
See, if we can't grow back appendages, that proves that we're not lizard people.
That's right. We're not lizard people, Floofy.
All right. I'm supposed to do something here. Oh, I know what it is. We can listen and enjoy while she gets flustered over there.
If you have a damaged disc and it's no longer receiving a nutrient, can you yourself regrow it? I've heard some things about that.
No, what will happen is the disc will go away, which was a pain anyway, and what will happen is your spine, your column will sit on the column and it will make its own fusion and it won't hurt. You don't want to bring nutrient to the disc. You want the darn thing to die. Because when it dies, bone will go on bone. Now that sounds miserable, but it will eventually, it's better. Sylvia always says she's going to talk to God very seriously about discs anyway. And backs. Yes.
One more question. If you have someone in your family who's brain damaged from drug abuse, And do you see anything in the near future where that can be changed or
No, now see, you can't regrow an arm. You can't repair something that's damaged out of, it's almost like a foreign car can't get a part. So no. That's now you're getting into the spiritual side, that person was not only maybe meant to learn that, but also people viewing that were meant to learn. No. See, we get too far into the esoteria of, if I cut off my nose, will I grow another one? No. No, when anybody tells you that, I think I'd look a little bit, yes.
I have two questions. The Oriental doctors, they feel impulsed by diagnosing the illness. Do you know how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody said it, the energy. The energy that they're not only measuring heartbeats, but they're measuring the energy, the flow of the energy. They could do anything, whether they check the artery in the neck or the pulse, but you'd be surprised at how much the pulse can show.
It's amazing. And also, Sylvia has predicted that the cancer can be cured by ultraviolet sound. I don't remember.
There's several ways to do it.
Can you elaborate on that?
What she said on the next Montel Williams show is that in the next 2 years, cancer will be totally eradicated. And it will be through sound waves, cell memory structures. Like Roger said, even these generator type things that will bend time and change the molecular structure. But also on the very medical side of it, there will be vaccines.
And photosensitive drugs.
Yeah, photosensitive
Very
drugs.
specific.
And very laser-like light photon, that will just eradicate the cells. See, the reason why, no it isn't. The reason why it's always been so harsh is because radiation just takes a wide swatch over the whole body. If just to go in and just burn out that. Now see what is so amazing to me, if a woman has endometriosis, they can get that laser so specifically that they can burn out every bit of that endometriosis. Why then, ask yourself, can they not center in on that cancer cell and just burn out that cancer cell and leave the good cells alone? The danger of cancer is not the cancer itself. It's what we do to the rest of the surrounding cells that defeats the body's immune system that lets it take a hold. And I'm not against chemo. I'm more against radiation. Oh, absolutely. I'm not thrilled about chemo, but I'm more deathly against radiation. Because there's no radiation that's ever been known not to destroy the surrounding cells. I don't care how great the doctor is and how great it's too big a fat circle that goes in.
And I have one more question. Some people, they are more sensitive than others. Is it just a personality thing, or?
In which way? You mean to allergens or to pain or emotions?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's just the way God made some people. That comes from a whole category of past lives.
It's related to past lives.
Oh, it's related to your whole own individual persona. Some people are very not hard, but they're much more harsher or harder about things than other people. But it depends on their relation to what they've had or what they've gone through. You won't find a policeman or a nurse, emergency room nurse, fainting from blood, but you may find a layperson, depending on what they've been subjected to. Anything else that anyone? Yes.
Is there anything you could do to eradicate allergies and funguses, that sort of thing?
It's becoming a very, very big problem, the allergens in the air, and that it really has to do with the warming trend. And I said this, and you can validate this, some 20 4 or 5 years ago in your time, that eventually people are going to have to live in domed cities because the allergens, and it's not just the ragweed and the pollination, but it's the molds that are getting people. And the moles are becoming, because the earth is getting so wet, and then on top of that it's becoming a steam, a hothouse effect, and that's what gives rise to moles. All right, now you know the answer to that, but how do you get rid of them? Tremendous amounts of vitamin C will help. 3,000 to 4,000 in rose hips will create a tremendous insulation, and make it in time released. That's the only thing I promise you that will sustain. But people don't want to use that much vitamin C because they say it gives them dysentery. It does for the first 3 days, but that's a detoxification. So if you're going to go up that high, I would recommend that you stay close to home for a few days. But don't be concerned about the dysentery, because that's a flushing effect. After the 4th day, that usually calms down. And then you're able to sustain the vitamin C.
Does that take care of the fungus as well?
Absolutely. The fungus, the moles, that's the big problem.
What do you suggest for heart disease and constricted arteries, for an older person particularly?
Niacinimide is very, very good, along with niacin, because the niacinimide really sets up a very strength of the cell, the walls of the venous capillary system, and then the niacin gets in there and rotor-rooters it. It works like a rotor-rooter. Better than Lescol or Zocor or any of those things. It does just as well.
What do you suggest as a therapeutic dosage then?
To start out with, it's minimal. I would start out with 150 milligrams of each and then progress to about 1,000.
And that will take care of reversing the disease process?
It could reverse, yes it could, but what it's going to do is insulate the walls of the venous capillary system. And once the walls have been insulated and cleaned, it can be a reversal. Unless you've got somebody who already has holes in their, venous capillary system. See, the problem is that people don't come to a way of health or well-being until so many times it's too late. If we can turn around and educate our young people to start now, we won't have these people with problems in the next 15 or 20 years.
It's like going to the car repair store with the tire is shredded because you've been driving on it and didn't maintain it, and you say, "Oh, can you put a patch on that?"
Yeah. Yeah, can you put a patch on that? And it reminds me of the timeline that we've been told in the past, that if it takes 4 years for somebody to dig themselves into a health problem, it's, people will tell the doctor fix it immediately, but what we've heard in trance is that it'll take about half that time, so like about 2 years, like realistically, to get ourselves out of the issue. So if something doesn't work right away, it's okay. Just keep at it. Keep being persistent, and we can shorten that time if we really, put our diet and our treatment and our willpower behind it. But yeah, it's a good point that she made at the very, very end there. People will ask for help when it's too late. Yeah, preventative maintenance. Absolutely. You're worth it. You're worth it. People are worth it. I wish you would take care of themselves. Reverend Effie is here. Hello, Effie. It's so good to see you. It's awesome. I wanted to say, if anyone is struggling with endometriosis and like questions about endometriosis surgery, you can always shoot me an email. I have a lot of experience in this issue, and it's the only disease that's taught according to the director of the National Institute of Health in America. This is not just coming from me. This is coming from doctor who knows these things. It's the only disease that they know of that's taught wrong front to back in med school. And there is a specific type of surgery that is excellent for endometriosis, but there's only a handful of doctors that know how to do it. So if anyone ever has any trouble, you can always send me a message, and I'll be very happy to give you resources to the doctors who are very good at this particular illness and disease. But she's right, like they'll take a laser and do this extremely fine surgery for endometriosis that where the laser excises, it cuts into the tissue and cuts it out, rather than it being like a blood laser scoop. Right. Yeah, it's this very fine laser scalpeling kind of procedure that it's very fine tuned and meticulous. The experts that know how to do excision surgery. It's very interesting stuff. So thankful to people who get those skills, because they're so helpful to people. So.
Nice. Any comments, or we want to get to the next one?
Sure. Somebody shares that somebody was able to that doctors were able to give a successful limb transplant. So someone was able to get arms from someone who donated them.
Wow. And
that it was a painter who was able to get his livelihood and his love back which is wonderful. It's amazing what medicine can do. And Kristen shares, I had to do radiation for breast cancer, and it saved my life, which is fantastic. Like I said before this segment, like, she's making comments based on what was available in 1997. It is now 2024. Medicine has come leaps and bounds. So definitely, I know that people have. I remember my grandmother, who was a nurse at the time. She would tell me stories about how she would get after a radiologist who was being too broad, and she said, "You will not burn this person. Like, you will not burn this person. You will be careful and meticulous, and you will, plot out like a very whatever they do to be very, very specific." So I assume that medicine has come a long way. We're not doctors. So glad for people who've had good successes with treatments.
Nice.
Kristen follows up saying, yes, it was specifically targeted. Great. And apparently, talking about lizard people, conspiracy theories, Jorge shares it was Alex Collier, a self-described abductee who made a video in the 90s, and he claimed that the lizard people are real. And oh my goodness, that has taken on a life of its own. People, oh my gosh, you're too much for me sometimes. These conspiracy theories. All right.
Tulpas.
Tulpas. Yeah, you could have seen a tulpa. It's entirely possible. So what we've been told through the trances is that the human soul occupies occupies like human. There is no transmigration for a human soul to go into like some strange looking being, and that whenever we do encounter extraterrestrials in the future, we'll find that they look shockingly human, because that's what we all look like. Some might be very short, some might be very tall, but they're still we would still look at a person and recognize them as being like us.
It's what we've evolved from.
Yes.
When this planet was started, when the population was started, there were there's a word, and it's like we were physical humans were brought from 2 other planets and dropped off here, and people that's started the cycle of the reincarnation in human bodies.
Yeah. Fascinating.
And we have not evolved into lizard people.
No. No, I don't
I
think
have seen
don't think
people
so.
that have transformed themselves into lizard people, but they have
Oh,
not evolved into lizard people. There have
oh.
been a couple of people that have done a lot of surgeries and tattooing to modify
Mm.
their skins to give themselves the appearance of being a lizard person.
That's interesting. I've seen people who made changes to appear more feline. It's fascinating. Fascinating. Um, well, on that
Next.
terribly exciting note,
Okay.
um, here we go. We're going to go into segment 2. So we're going to hear more about the flushing with niacin means that it's working. People with current heart problems shouldn't go over 300 milligram niacin. Amino acids are the cell repairers. We're going to hear about Montel and Sylvia having past lives together, and Jesus' message in modern day.
Cool. All right.
And you at one time said cholesterol is not the problem because that's just a camouflage for some elongated cell. What is the problem then that's invading?
The problem is some people just don't have the makeup to push through the sludge, but everybody in this room, every living being has sludge in their cell structure. Some people just don't have their arteries open enough to flush it. It's like a drain that's been clogged, and they don't use enough, let's say, Drano.
Would you suggest that we do like a maintenance then on this?
Niacinimide. Yes, but I don't want anybody having to call Sylvia up and tell them they turned all red and flush, because that's what happens, but it's not a serious thing. People get very prickly, very itchy, and they get very red, but you want to, because if you haven't done that, it hasn't done you a bit of good. Now, what's good about the niacin is they have the time released or the buffered effect that don't create the flush. But even that, you want some flush, because if you don't, you're not getting any use out of it. But people invariably say their heart starts pounding and they break out in a rash and they start running around nude in the middle of the room screaming. And
Just once. I am not.
yes,
Francine, how long should you take to work up to the 1,000 milligrams approximately?
I'd say about 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks. Is this something that someone who's already had a compromised system, who's already had, let's say, a heart incident, would want to take now? Would it be okay for them to do that?
I don't have any problem with that. They don't have to go up to 1,000 though, but I would make sure that they at least got up to at least 300 or 400 milligrams. And also, for a cell recovery of anything that has to do with the venous, capillary, or anything to do with stomach ulceration, amino acids should always be introduced, because amino acids are the only natural healers of the body. The amino acids are the fighters. They're what goes storming through to insulate the cell structures, because your whole body's made out of protein. And that's why I'm on such a rampage about all these carbohydrates everybody's taking in. You can't feed a protein organism that you are nothing but fruits and vegetables. It's not going to work. You're putting in your system all this sugar. It's too much sugar. And I'm seeing more and more of this fat-free in your world. Yes, it's fat-free, but it's sugar-loaded. See, if you ever stop to think, if it's fat-free and it tastes good, what do you think's in it? Sugar. Yes.
Francine, I have another question unrelated to this. Sylvia had mentioned at one time here that on a particular visit to New York, Montel had expressed such love that he had for her. And I had asked her why she thought so. What was his morphic resonance with her? And she said, I don't know, that would be something good to ask Francine. So I asked you, what is the connection that he has with Sylvia?
They had 6 lives together. 6. And in every single one of those lives, he has been so very much in love with her. And I mean, this is through, not just romantically, I'm talking about son and brother and sister and cousin and helpmate and all of the above.
Were any of those lives in Egypt?
2 were in Egypt in the life of Hasaphat, and 1 was in Kenya. 2 were in Lebanon and 1 in Jerusalem.
Was he family when in Egypt the wife?
Yes.
What can you do to address when you take a lot of vitamin C, it causes a lot of acid in your stomach? What can you do to address it?
If you take the rose hips, the buffered rose hips, it won't. But you should never ever take any vitamin, I don't care what it is, on an empty stomach. Never. People are always saying, boy, I can't sustain these vitamins. It's because it's on an empty stomach. People should never get up in the morning and take a handful of vitamins until after they've eaten. Even if they do it at lunchtime. That's fine too. Yes.
For the longest time, and I'm sort of a newcomer here, we all had a belief system of becoming a Christ in the second millennium. And now that I know that he's not coming, that he's actually here now, according to the Greek canon, will there be a period of time where there will be more miraculous healings?
Oh, yes.
Could you explain that in more detail?
Well, you see, the time of the Christ consciousness, Christ never intended, I know this has been churchianistic doctrine, never intended to ever come back in the clouds. But he did want to come back in the gnosis way, the Gnostic way. In other words, I am really here, this is what my message was. And so being that, he is amongst you now, as they say. And for that, for everyone that does the laying on of hands and asks for the Christ to attend them, their chances of healing is about, 99.9/10%.
For example, where there will be more churches, where there will be more ministers and in quite a large number that would automatically do miraculous healings?
Not any that are not Gnostics. And I'm not saying that to be ego-centered about this group, because I could have come down to any group for that matter. But I was specified to come down to a group to lead them to Gnosis by our Lord. I mean, that was a directive. No, you won't find it outside of the Gnosis. You won't. I mean, we could be in, as Sylvia says, in Podunk, Idaho, and if it were meant to be there, that's where it would be. Just happens that it's here. Yes.
Well, religionistic dogma has been more of a barrier than a doorway to any form of
Christianity,
spirituality, or ability to use dimensional causation and
That's
healing.
right.
And the more we get away from that, the more we open our spiritual
Well, because
doorway.
you see, our Lord was the first one to say, go, seek, find, search. And churches said, don't you dare. Stay, shut up, be quiet, listen.
Right. So that's actually what took us away from our natural
absolutely.
physics of healing. And now we're actually reclaiming what was natural.
You're right, that's right. And what our Lord got strung up for, that's what he got, why he got put. That's why Socrates had to drink hemlock. That's why because Socrates said within every man is his real self, his eternal, salvation. And they said, that's heresy.
Well, is that kind of the reason? I have a feeling that to get back to that spiritual doorway, it's almost like we have to go through the clinical end because of our complex societal mind now.
Well, because if you don't, then nobody will listen.
That's right. So in other words, it is simplistic, it is natural, but we have to address our societal mind.
You have to play the game.
Get back there.
And it's not a false game, it's a real game.
No, it's
a real game. And like I said, why we will be on the cutting edge, it's because we're going to use Eastern and Western. We're not going to cut out the Western. That's ridiculous. Because Western has a great amount to say. So does Eastern. But you don't ever want to cut one off for the other. Instead, it's like science and religion. There should be a marriage rather than an alienation. They would have gotten so much further if they could have married.
Well, and that's certainly the balance of emotion and intellect. The clinical and the esoteric side.
That's right. That's right. And doctors, true doctors, at least the ones Sylvia works with too, will be clever, smart enough, spiritual enough to say, I'm only the engineer. The person is the one that does the healing or the work.
So we do have the tools for each of us to heal ourselves and maintain and be healthy for longer and better living.
Absolutely. Between God, our chart, our willpower, and our doctors, like it's a very, like that's what comes to my mind now whenever I hear holistic, like a holistic healing is like you have to check every box. Got to make sure you got enough protein in your diet, that your nutrition is up, doing a little bit of exercise, working with a doctor who is respectful of what you have to say and that you feel is listening to you, and in addition, doing the energy work and the tools for life that we enjoy as Gnostics. So just checking every one of those boxes. I know it makes a difference for me if I don't do one of those things. So, any
comments?
Yeah, Kristen shares, love that interaction on the last segment. Yeah, there were a couple of good interactions. I laughed when we heard some insight about Larry having taken Niacin. That was a very uncomfortable experience for him. Niacin is interesting. Sometimes you can take just I would recommend you take just a little bit if you're going to take Niacin, take a little bit and work your way up to see what your threshold is, because there have been times where I've taken it and my threshold is really high, like 800 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams before I get the flushing effect they're talking about. It is an unmistakably uncomfortable sensation of your whole body turning bright red from the up, like the waist up. It's you feel like a hot tamale, and it's fine. It's harmless. But there have been other times where I've taken it. It only takes like a tiny bit, like 100 milligrams for me to get the effect. So if you're going to investigate it, start small, work your way up, see what your threshold is to get the desired moment where you get the flushing effect. Certainly don't need to go overboard. Anyway.
My threshold is up there too to trigger that effect. Very similar, and I remember starting out that same way as well. And the fun part, learning that there's time release as well. Gets it in your system and can benefit you as well.
Yeah.
Any comments?
Esteban says hello. Jorge says Sylvia predicted that cancer cells will be injected with some extreme drugs that will make the cells self-addicting and kind of eat themselves. So continues to be cutting edge medicine, because I was just looking and seeing that there's been some scientific articles talking about looking into autophagy, where a cell like eats itself, and just seeing if they can use that.
bringing up that prediction, I haven't heard about that going on, or that, people working towards that effect. But that's fun to know that they're thinking about it or talking about it.
Yeah, that was a recent article that I just was looking at from 2021. So it's still a place of investigation, and we wish them all the success for speedy speedy finds and discoveries.
Yeah.
Yes, developments, discoveries. Aaron asks, does that mean that cancer is technically eradicated? Not yet, but it is. They've made incredible strides for some types of cancers. Like some types of cancers now are just like kind of almost non-issues, especially thyroid cancer. Like that one's easy. Like everyone recovers from that. It's a non-issue. That like there's so many out there that they've made so many excellent strides towards medicine. So we don't have a cure yet, but they're certainly working towards it. Lisa asks, hello, Lisa, is this niacin taken for life or a few weeks or a few months? Oh gosh, they didn't. She didn't clarify. It sounded, someone suggested maintenance. Another person, what we just listened to, said, how long do you work up to get a healing effect? And she said, work up to it for at least 6 weeks. And then, so re-listen to the clips, because she explained herself exactly what the mechanism is that happens. The niacin helps build up like an insulation effect for the vasculature. But you also additionally have to take the amino acids and have your protein levels up so that the cells have what they need to actually repair themselves. So it sounds like there were some different recommendations that she suggested for someone who currently has some heart disease issues going on versus if someone has like no issues, but they're interested in like pursuing a cleanse, so to speak. Good question. Very good question. Also, I want to highlight what she said at the end about Jesus's message. I love that clarification that she said, that Jesus's prediction where he said, like, I'll come back. He meant it as his message will come back. And that is what we are so invested in with Gnosticism, but also just as being good people, to promote his message of love, of tolerance, of acceptance, of an all-loving God. And even outside of Novus, I don't know about other people, but it just seems like a lot more people are more tolerant than they used to be, and are more just kind of rejecting of dogma and saying like, no, God's around, God's fine. So isn't a jerk. So it's nice to see that shift coming about.
And that we're asking for the Christ consciousness. We're asking for that energy for ourselves, which is bringing, asking for his energy, his ideas, and what he wanted, what he was wanting to promote while he was here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Took me a couple of years to figure out what the Christ consciousness meant, but it actually is. It does sound like it's an actual force of. It looks like a golden light, and yeah, it's fascinating. I hope that we'll hear one day about her talking about what that force actually looks like, because it'd be really interesting to hear more about. Aaron asks, so are we headed towards that right now? We need Jesus' message right now to resonate with with people. And I think that I see positive signs everywhere that people are naturally hearing that internal bell ringing to be kinder, that internal bell ringing to be more tolerant. And the more that we all can talk about it and step up in those moments where it's important to do the right thing, it's important to be an ally to someone who's going through a tough time. That's spirituality right there. Yeah.
Right. There's the advancement of spirituality and the fact that we encourage to ask for the Christ consciousness, not just the white light or the Holy Spirit, or whatever colors we want, but we also ask for the Christ consciousness to be surround us as well.
Absolutely.
So we've been doing this suggesting that for a long time.
Yes.
It sounded like you were asking, is this new, or when is this coming about? It's been asked for, and we've heard in I recall from previous trances that Francine was relating to. It's the spirituality is increasing, and along those lines, yes, the Christ consciousness, his knowledge, his ideas are being, what's the word? I want to say adhered to, but it's more of
amplified.
Thank
expressed.
you.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. If anyone is curious, we heard on a trance a long time ago that Jesus on the other side said that if there was any label that he would want people to know, think well, what does Jesus think about his own label? Does he say, I am the Messiah? Does he say, I am this, I am that? What does he say? And we were told in trance is that he considers himself a pure report.
Mm-hmm.
Pure report. And I think that relates to this idea of Christ consciousness by saying, well, what Christianity kind of understands about Jesus is that he brought the good news, and he brought this report of God being marvelous and loving, and this report of what spirituality looks like. He brought reports even in how he lived his life, just every moment was just an example of goodness, of rightness, of correct spirituality, of correct emotional expression, correct response to situations. Is a pure report of what spirituality looks like. So, if that's helpful for anybody to chew on, I just offer it because it came to mind.
And a suggestion that could fill in on that is, I think, darn it, Sylvia's. A moment now, I'm embarrassed. Did Sylvia have a book, The Life of Christ? That's
the mystical life of Jesus.
Okay, thank you. I am remembering correctly on that.
Yeah.
So dig into that, and should give some helpful insights that can fill in a lot of the blank spaces, the questions that are coming up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it's time to reread it, because it's been a while.
Yeah. Meditation?
Well, I think it is meditation time.
Metatarsals? No, it's time for meditation. And I gotta go get it. Let's try that. So for what we do encourage is for you to sit with your feet. This is one of our regular short meditations. We encourage you to sit in a chair, in a comfy chair, with your feet flat on the floor and your palms upward on your lap to release? No, receive that wonderful healing and rejuvenating energy from the meditation. If you need to pay attention to what you're doing, don't pay attention to us, but by all means come back and listen to these wonderful meditations in the on-demand. And for the rest of us, here is a meditation.
Find a comfortable place to sit with your feet flat on the floor and your palms upward on your lap. Now, take 3 deep breaths to start relaxing the mind and the body. Now close your eyes when you are ready.
A blend of light. Bind yourself with colors of light. Now start blending them. Begin by threading a white light through your forehead and into your throat, solar plexus, and lower intestinal tract. Next, thread a purple light through the same path. Surround yourself with this bubble of light. Take a gold light and thread it through the same path, your forehead, throat, solar plexus, and lower intestinal tract. Now take a green light through. The light is now around you in its rainbow of colors. You should do this every day. It takes only a few minutes. Ask that your emotion and intellect be cemented together and that the white light of the Holy Spirit surround you. I promise you that if you ask Father and Mother God, as well as your spirit guide to protect you and your aura, then your aura can go out into a pain-filled desert and conquer it.
Now, on the count of 3, come all the way back. 1, 2, 3, fully and totally awake.
That's fun to hear that. I mean, that was the selection matches somebody was talking about earlier, putting their aura out, and I was like, oh, that's a fun connection. What did we do? Oh, that's what we did. Well, anyway, I trust people have enjoyed that. If you have any questions about what we shared, feel free to post in chat or email us questions to cat@novus.org or tom@novus.org. And of course, we appreciate listeners both live and on demand. Show your appreciation for New Spirit Radio by sharing, promoting, liking. Check out our websites at novus.org, sylviabrowne.com, chrisrightnow.com. We are on Facebook, Society of Novus Spiritus, Sylvia Browne Group, and wow, study groups as well. I just found the Novus Las Vegas. They're posting live Sunday services. We are also on YouTube with where it's Society of Novus Spiritus and Psychic Awareness. You'll also find Novus on Discord if you'd like to participate in conversations and find out updated information. You can start a study group if you'd like to make a donation and get something in return. There's really helpful benefits there. Sunday services I just spoke about because I think I just posted one. And yes, they'll be coming in the near future here. If you want to participate in something that's live and interactive, put your email on the website and you should get invited to Ellen Schloss. Reverend Ellen Schloss puts on 2 Sunday services. One of them is a special Zoom service, and the other is they live stream their Sunday service in the Las Vegas church, so you can participate in those. Now's the time for the novena I spoke about earlier. What we're going to do, for those of you that are new, we're going to say a phrase together at the same time. It's not posted anywhere, but we're going to say this phrase together 3 times, and then I'll tell you what you want to ask for afterwards. And we're going to do that 3 times. And the phrase is, I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now, why is this important? Well, we've heard Francine talking about this and Raheem telling us about this, and it follows our tenet number 10 that says, "Let no one convince you that you are less than a god. Do not let fear imprison your spiritual growth." So, what I suggest is picture all of us, regardless of when you're watching this or listening to this. Picture all of us holding hands together in a large room, that we make this huge circle, and we're going to add energy to each other and get that energy out into the universe. So we will say this together. Ready? I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now ask for things for yourself. Okay. Here we go. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now ask for things for others. Okay, and the last one. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now, picture our light going out like a beacon for others seeking this spiritual knowledge. And of course, stop for a moment and think, what are you appreciative of in the last week? Carry that memory with you forward through the next week or so. It's going to help keep you elevated, keep your mood elevated, and your spirits elevated. But in
Gratitude
addition,
practice.
yes, show your appreciation to Francine and Raheem for researching all of this wonderful knowledge. Sylvia for coming to this insane asylum of the universe to start this movement and for showing us how to get some peace of mind and grace while we're here. And Asna for helping us and protecting us. And Father God for providing the most prestigious school for us to experience, learn, and satisfy our unique spark of curiosity. Appreciate Bob Engel for some of the graphics and helping some with the audio. And of course, Sammy and Javon for our wonderful intro, outro music, our themes. For the show, writing, setup, and hosting is Reverend Catherine Taylor. Editing, technical direction, and hosting is Reverend Tom Bigley. And now, a prayer by Sylvia. Oh, I got to do that, don't I? And... Yep, that'll work. All right. Somewhere here. Where's the button? There we go.
Festival of Lights Prayer, evening. Dear Mother, not just for today, but for all the days and nights of our life, attend to us. Visit us often. Our doors are always open to your blessed face. Take with you today our lights and add them to the halo of your light. Forgive our wrongs against ourselves. Free us from the guilt of past programming and leave our minds and souls and body free to serve you. At the end of our life, be waiting for us, dear Asna. Give us a sword of might to cut darkness and fight the adversities of this world. Give us courage to profess our faith and knowledge so we will be an example to all who come. Amen.
And Kat's going to tell us.
God bless. Take care of yourself. We love you. And we'll see you next week. Good night.
For so long we have ignored you as if you were not there. All praise went to the Father. We were so unaware that through the years you've shed your tears for all the pain we bear. Oh, Asna, how we love you. Place no one above you. Always thinking of you. Bless your name. You are Mother God. You've planted every blade of grass, creator of the stars. And when I'm feeling down and out, you mend my broken heart. So now I sing this song of thanks because of who you are. Oh, Asna, how we love you. Place no one above you. Always thinking of you. Bless your name. You are Mother God. You're more than a friend to me. You give me